we've had a couple of auto, accidents and things, but everything's been handled promptly, and I felt they were very flexible with where we could take the car that was the closest to us to get fixed. And we actually got to use our technology rider or whatever it is one time. My son got an iPad stolen, and we were able to get it replaced and just pay the deductible, which was a fourth of what it cost to pay for the replacement of the iPad. So every claim we've filed have been done well. The horse band side's always been well, but I can't say the vendors have sometimes taken 6 weeks to get our car back to us, but that's not the horse band's fault.
Good job.
Okay. You have roadside assistance with us?
Assistance.
Okay.
And on the horse man side, it was very good.
All
From
right.
the tow truck, it wasn't.
Tell me about that.
I guess it was just a really crazy night, and the first one that they called, they're like, okay, it's going to be 45 minutes. Great. And then 15 minutes into it, they said, oh, we're sorry, now they're telling us an hour and a half. We're changing you to somebody else. Well, that change then
Put you back.
put me back. Yeah.
Okay.
But certainly not an hour and a half. And it was a trip. He showed up on a motorcycle to jump my dad. How are you going to do that? I mean, he just pulls out this little gizmo thing and hooks it up and goes, okay, start. I need one of those.
Yeah.
Like I said, whoever I talked to with Horseman was great.
Okay. All right.
They
Good.
were very good. They texted me and called me like every 15 minutes. Are you okay?
Really?
Here's your, they haven't updated our ETA. Please let us know when they get
Okay.
there. Have they gotten about the time that they were supposed to show up? They're like, have they gotten there yet? I'm like, wait, somebody's knocking on my window. Yes, they're here. I'm like, okay, let us know how it went. So they stayed with me the whole time, making sure that everything was going well.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere because I am satisfied with the service. Where I'm not 100% satisfied is like with the claims process and when you get assigned to a person and you have a claim, like an auto claim or whatever, and I think they're in Texas usually, or at least the past 2 times I've
We do
ever.
have in Dallas.
Yeah, so
office.
it's usually in Texas is where I'm calling. So I know there's a little bit of time difference, but I've had a really hard time getting a hold of somebody and getting a phone call returned to me, where I'm talking, 3-4 days sometimes before I get a phone call back, and that's with me consistently calling daily, leaving a message, claiming, the whole thing, and that's frustrating. I think that could be better. It would be easier,
Yeah,
but
I was
I
gonna say,
email
why not?
also, and even I don't get those. A response in that. If they were to respond via email, that would be easier and better to do as quickly.
Okay.
Over the summer in June, my gas tank fell off my car. The gas tank literally dropped, was hanging onto my drive shaft.
Yeah.
I called the 800 number to get a tow. The tow truck, I live in Buffalo Grove. I don't know if you guys are from the area. They called, it was a Sunday, they called River Grove tow truck company to come out to Buffalo Grove, which was 40 miles away. Thank God I was at my mom's house, but they didn't end up getting me towed for 3 hours. And then they tried telling me that they called this other tow truck company, which was in Vernon Hills on Milwaukee Avenue, and I called them directly and said, did you get a call from Horace Mann? They never received the call. So Horace Mann, or whoever your third-party person is, never really made that call to a tow truck company that was closer. So here I was waiting 3 hours to get towed, and it had to be a flatbed tow with the way the gas tank was hanging.
So it would have been personally, if I have a claim, or when I have had claims, I think the personal contact was important. I think for little things like extra statements, or I don't know, something that we would probably get online anyway, that would be okay. But for me, when I had a major accident several years ago, and it was very important for me at the time to actually have that contact via voicemail.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, via voice, through, and everything went so smoothly. Every time I called, I got one of the same 2 people, and I cannot recall their names. It could have been Dave. I don't know if it was at this point, because it sounded like a great guy. But, it was very important.
I'll tell you a really positive thing. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had an automatic starter put in our RAV4, the winter car. for my wife. And when they pulled the hood, the top liner down, they found mice up there. They found a mouse nest up there. And the person who put it in, the place put it in, you gotta get these mice out before they cause damage. So I went to the Toyota place and they said, yeah, about $2,500, $2,200. You need a new liner and it's 6 hours worth of labor and things like this. And I called my own mechanic, said, call your insurance and see if it's not covered by comprehensive. And it is. And the lady on the phone that I talked to was the nicest lady in the world. And I don't know who she was, but I told her, I said, when they said $2,500, I just about lost it. I couldn't believe it. And she said, I'd feel the same way. And she said, yep, you have comprehensive and everything.
A few months ago, we had an electrical storm and my freezer stopped.
Okay.
I called up and asked if I was in for the stuff that was inside of it, was I insured for that? And the lady told me that I was, and she said, do you want to put a claim in? I said, well, I don't know. I said, you know, would it be worth it for me to put a claim in? And she didn't know. And somebody was going to get back to me. That night, a lady called me back, that night, but she was a claim adjuster. And she said, I can write you a check right now, $500. And I said, well, I don't want that $500. I don't need that $500 if it's going to make my policy go up or if that's a big hit or whatever. And but she didn't know if it was or not.
Okay.
And I thought that she was going to get back to me with the information. And 2 days later, I got a check in the mail.
We never had claims. We just paid our bill and, you know, and we didn't need to have a claim or anything. And recently, we've had these problems and they've been very good about it. And this lady on the phone, whoever she was awesome. I mean, you do have good customer service people around.